Good morning, everyone. All right, yeah, that's it. All right, yeah. You know, I, I don't mean to complain, but, and I've mentioned this before, and this was just kind of off the cuff. Have you guys noticed that when you're going someplace and you're in a hurry, that's when you run into traffic jams, construction, semi trucks? That happened to me this morning. And then when you're within the last half a mile of being here, you're following the guy that's going about 5 to 10 miles an hour below the speed limit, and you can't pass him. And then he turns into the San Marino parking lot right in front of you, right? So then you pass him, you kind of go, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, sure. All right, I just had to mention that. That's a public service. All right, there we go. All right. I have a sad story. Well, maybe sad, maybe inspirational. I don't know. There was this couple, a senior couple. They might have been NCRO members. I don't know. After this, they won't admit it anyways. But they visited this sex therapist's office, and on their first visit, doctor says, "Oh, hi, how you doing? What can I do for you?" And the guy says, "Will you watch us have sex?" The doctor looked puzzled, kind of shrugged, but agreed. He said, "Yeah, sure, I can do that. I mean, after all, that's what I do, professionally speaking, of course." But when the couple finished, the doctor said, "There's nothing wrong the way you do sex." So he charged them his $100 fee, and they went on. So this went on for a few months in a row, and couple would make an appointment. They would have sex under the doctor's supervision. He would say everything's okay, pay the doctor, then they would leave. Finally, on the last visit, the doctor says, what are you trying to find out here? And the guy says, "Well, we're not trying to find out anything." He said, "Here's the deal. We live with our kids and our grandkids, okay? And it kind of gets kind of crowded and kind of embarrassing when we want to have some of those intimate moments, if you know what I mean. And so, we want to get out of the house. And if we go to the Holiday Inn, they're charging over $150. The Hilton's way over $200. Your fee is $100. So it's a lot better for us to come here. And Medicare takes care of 80%, and the rest I submit to my HRA for reimbursement. Did I get that right, Bill? Is that pretty close? Yeah, Bill's going to cover more in detail when he talks later. So, all right. Good morning, everyone. Again, it's great to see everybody. Everybody made it through the winter months. That's cool. This is our second in-person meeting this year. The first one was in February. Thank you for coming, and for all our members that joined us on the webinar also. My name is Mike Cipponeri. I'll go through a few things briefly. So first question I always ask, how was your breakfast? And the wait staff? Good. Yeah. Good job. San Marino's been our home for, I think, 12, 13 years or so, something like that. This is NCRO's 54th in-person breakfast meeting since NCRO started in 2008. When you think about it, that is amazing that we've been able to keep this string going, especially with all the disruptions, little things like bankruptcies, pandemics, mergers, more mergers, and whatever else is going to happen. So, and thank you for your support and your interest to keep this going. It's really up to you guys that you guys show up. So appreciate that very much. We had 120 members sign up today to attend here, and another 58, I think, on the webinar. Okay, so it's a good crowd, All right, let me go over these few things. If you haven't visited our new website, please do. Our website went online, the new website went online about a year and a half ago, January of 2023. It looks great. It's fresh looking, user friendly, easy to navigate, colorful, and still has a lot of the useful relative information. Rick Golpe and his team do a great job maintaining the website, keeping it fresh. keeping it fresh and vibrant. So with that, and as a special guest today, we have our web designer and the person who maintains our website on a regular basis. So Jackie Robinson, if Jackie stand up, please. The Jackie Robinson, right? Number 42. Number 42. Okay. Also, please try to keep your contact information up to date. You can do that by going to the members only tab. It's in the upper right-hand corner of our website. You click on it. You need to know two things. You need to know your last name. We should get that. And your NCRO ID number. Okay, that one might be a little tricky sometimes. We include it on the invoices and things. So, but if you can't do it online, you can always call the office and we'll do it for you. We'll update your information. So, but it's important that you keep that fresh, because when you tell Stellantis or whatever they're called, FCA, Chrysler, when you change your contact information with them, we don't get that information from them. They don't share that information with us. So it's important that you update for the NCRO your contact information. All right, I got that. Our insurance committee continues to help our members navigate through the various issues. They just completed their last seminar, I think March 13th, right? Right, John? Was that March 13th? Okay. John Kaiser presented the Survivor's Guide for FCA retirees and surviving spouses. A paper copy should have been, was mailed to all of the NCRO members, and you should have received it. I know I received mine, I think, on Saturday. So you should have received the paper copy by now. If not, see us after and we'll see what happened. Let's see, I wasn't here at the February meeting, so I'll take this opportunity. Thank you very much, everyone, for paying their annual dues, paying it on time. Well, at least paying for it anyways. So I appreciate that. Thank you also, I know, for your patience in getting the checks cashed. I know it takes some time, so thank you for your patience on that. Thank you for paying your 2024 dues, and in some cases your 2025 dues, your 2026 dues, your 2027 dues. So you guys are very optimistic, and it's good that you're on board. Remember also that when you're a member of NCRO, you automatically become a member of the NRLN. However, NRLN will always welcome and will appreciate any additional contributions that you can make to the NRLN. Great organization. We're hooked with them. So if you can find the ability to make added contributions, that would be great. Thank you also for contributing to our CAF. That is kind of our what do we want to call that? It's contingency action fund. Let me put it that way. Okay. Please continue to support our retiree-friendly dealers. They advertise on our website. And we've got some representatives here from some of the dealerships. So if I can just ask you, just stand up, introduce yourself, give us a quick sales pitch.
Good morning. My name is Brian Ackerman from Jim Reel's Friendly Automotive Group. We are a longtime supporter of the NCRO. We have 3 locations, Warren, Romeo, and Lapeer, and we're happy to serve you with your sales or service needs, parts as well, body shop. So please visit us at any time. Thank you.
Good morning, James Huffley from Gowling Alfa Romeo. We have sales in Birmingham, service, parts, body shop in Bloomfield Hills. Very happy to be here today. Thank you for having us. Happy to see some Alfa Romeos in the parking lot too, I saw on the way in. So thank you for the support, and always here to support you guys. So thank you so much.
Hi, Adam Holcomb from Gowling as well. We're in Roseville. We've been there 4 years, the old Mike Reels, excuse me, and Gratiot and 10 Mile. Oh, sorry, sir. And anything we can do to help you guys out. I know Bill has been a big supporter of the NCRO for a long time. So Matt walked away, but Matt is also here from Bloomfield. So we're always here, always there for you. Thank you.
I don't need a mic. I'm the loudest guy in the room. I'm Lincoln Phillip from Rochester Hills Chrysler Jeep. Our address is 1301 South Rochester Road. You don't know what that matters. Just kidding. Thank you for your continued support, and we have been in business for 50 years, and many of you have been long-time patrons of our dealership, and we appreciate your support. So, in turn, we support you. Thanks again.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Remember, they're not only a good source of revenue for us, the NCRO, but it helps them, it keeps them healthy, keeps Chrysler healthy. So, and as a reminder, they continue to support NCRO during the pandemic. So thank you guys very much for coming. Appreciate that. Okay. All right. Now let me just go through today's agenda. Is it up? Whoa. Hey, how's that? Is it better now? Okay. All right, let me start over here. You know, coming in this morning, the traffic was, you heard that part, okay. All right, when I'm done here, eventually, Jay Kuhnie, our president, will come up and bring us up to date on any of the NCRO news and information. And then he's followed by our keynote speaker, Bill Caterite, president of the NRLN. And his talk is NRLN 2024 priorities and our next Medicare challenge. And then we'll open it up around 11:30ish or so to a Q&A, and should have you out of here by noon, between noon 12:15. So with that, Jay.
Okay. Can you hear me? Good. Thanks, Mike. It's always good to see everybody here. Welcome you guys, as well as all of those that are on our webinar. It's amazing the amount of people across the United States that are watching this in their pajamas. They did not have probably as good a breakfast as we had, but that's okay. Next time I'll show up. Interesting. I used to tell jokes after Mike, but I decided, because his jokes were so good, that I decided I didn't want to follow that with some bad jokes. And Lincoln, it's interesting. You said you know Rochester Hills has been in business 50 years now, and I remember George Fetzko, who was the original owner there, still Fetzko stuff. And when I think back, that was really scary, because I was the DM in 1975 for that store when the store was being built. And I think back, wow, that's a long time. I am getting really old. Yeah, well, then I'm even older now. That really doesn't make me feel very well now. But I do remember calling on that dealership as a young district manager. I was 2 years old at the time. Again, I'd like to, I wrote down praise, but I'm not sure praise is really what I want to say, but Dale Cook and his crew, his friendly crew, once again do a great job, and I hope you appreciate all the setups and whatever. They get here really, really early today and get things all set up, run through the stuff so we make sure it works. So guys, good job. And I was going to introduce Jackie, but he beat me to the punch. And but Jackie, it's really great to have you in town. And if you hadn't seen the difference between the old website and the new website, she did a marvelous job. The new website is so much nicer, and it's always kept up to date. So we really appreciate the work, Jackie, you've done for us. And so thanks a lot. The other thing, I don't want to be too long, because I'm going to shorten my presentation, which you guys will be thankful for, and Bill can get up and I'll give him a little more time. But I want to thank the board and the IC committee specifically for what they do for you guys. We really have a great board and a great IC group that really works hard for you, and they do great work for me. I get to stand up and take some of the praise or the booing when we don't do something right. But it really is the board and the IC guys that do all the work. And so I just want to thank them publicly, so you know what they do for you as an organization. So thank you, guys. I appreciate it very much. And then Mike said, you know, we started in, what was it, 2000 and what, whatever, 2008, I guess is when we started. And it says 15 years there, but at the end of the month, we're gonna have to change the sign. So we're gonna put some typo written just right into number 6, because at the end of the month, we'll have been in existence for 16 years. And that's quite amazing. I mean, it really is. And really, it's because of you guys. And you guys supporting us, you know, through the years with being here, and with your payment of the dues, which helps us do all the things that we do for you. So I want to thank you guys and all the members of the NCRO that have been a support for us for these 16 years. So thank you very much, and I applaud you guys. So thank you. And now enough of that stuff. Okay, fine. I'm going to give you a quick update. First of all, I'm going to talk to you just a little about the NCRO mission, and just to go back over that. Then I am going to talk a little bit about the NRLN in Bill specifically. Then I'm going to talk about the surviving spouse and retiree family guides that hopefully you all received that Mike mentioned. I'm just going to talk a little about that. And then there's a really kind of an interesting issue that seems weird when I put toll violation issue. Is anybody, I'll ask later, because it's a really kind of weird thing that's been going on. And it's been interesting to get involved in it, what it's dealing with. So I'll start with working with FCA. Our mission is really twofold in how we work. The first part of our mission is to do everything we can do to protect your guys' pensions and benefits. That's the main reason. One of our old board members, Chris Dearda, would tell me that's the only mission. And he and I would get involved in a little bit that say, well, there's a little more than that. But in reality, that is a critical issue that we try desperately to keep on top of the things that are going on with FCA and in our stuff, and do everything we can do to preempt things that we might think are happening, or get involved in things when they happen, to try to protect the things that you guys have earned through working for the company over so many years. So that's the first thing that we do. But the second issue is we work with the NRLN in Bill, who's been just amazing. And that NRLN was really instrumental in forming the NCRO when it started, and Bill helped Chuck Austin and another group that was working on it to try to get ourselves organized appropriately, one. And two, it's our other efforts that we do to protect other benefits that you guys have that really aren't affected by or involved with FCA. Those are things like, pension overpayment issue. We've talked a lot about that. I talked about that for probably, 6 years. Took us almost 6 years to get it done with Bill's help, huge help. Annuitizations, which has gone on, and we're still concerned about the annuity and what happens to you when you lose annuities. And I've talked about that in terms of losing your PBGC protection, and the protection of annuity only goes to the states, which is in Michigan, it's $250,000 over your lifetime. And we're working very diligently on that. In fact, I don't know if Bill's going to talk anything about it, but we're getting close. We've presented our desires and the things that we think need to be done to protect you in terms of annuitization into the government. And we've written lots of stuff. Mike Calabrese, who's the attorney for NRLN, has put together legal verbiage, and hopefully that will come to fruition sometime in a bill this year if we can get it going. And there's I think there's real interest in the government groups to get that taken care of. So the other one is Social Security. Protecting Social Security for the future, one, and two, there's a real interesting thing that sort of came out of the blue, and I don't know if you know about this, but we talked about pension overpayment issues. there's Social Security overpayment issues. And I don't know if you know much about it, but it's amazing. Millions of people have been charged back because they've been overpaid by Social Security, and there are no rules to protect anybody on that. So it could be if you've been receiving Social Security payments for 15 or 20 years, you could get a note in the mail that says, we've overpaid you whatever, and we're going to collect it back. Much like pension overpayment. So we actually have legal language, and we're working with groups in Washington, and that's part of the thing that we're working on to try to shore up that and protect people. So if there is a clawback, it's no worse than what the clawback was for the pension overpayment. So it'd be like 3 years, and they'd have to recover over 10 years. So we're trying to do some things to protect you, because we don't want to have you guys get a letter in the mail that says, whoops, we've overpaid you and you owe us the money back. And the last one is healthcare issues and healthcare. I know Bill's going to talk a lot about healthcare, but the things that we're working on with the NRLN in Washington to kind of protect healthcare with Medicare, Medicare Advantages, and do the things that we think are appropriate. So those are the things that we work on that are not really things that are related to Stellantis or FCA. Next one, I have Bill Cartwright, and I'm going to just say to you that you have no idea how amazing he is. I don't want to get his head too big when he comes up here and talk, but I'll tell you, I'm amazed. I've been working with Bill for a lot of years now, and I'm amazed at his his intelligence, and how he works behind the scenes, understanding the things that seniors, retirees are facing. And my hats are off to him, and it's a real pleasure to work with the NRLN. So Bill, amazing. And as Mike said, part of your membership with the NRLN, with the NCRO, gives you a membership into the NRLN, and you probably got a letter from me and Bill looking for donations or dollars and cents that could go to the NRLN, because they could use the money as well to fight for us in Washington, because it takes a lot of money and a lot of time and effort. So if you have the opportunity and you can, we would appreciate it, and it'd be great. Mike talked about these, and I hope you all got these. They were stapled together, but there are 2 documents that were there. Did everybody get them in the mail? Okay, if you didn't, let us know. We can make sure you get them, but they're also on our website. So you can actually find the documents on our website if you want to. The Survivor Guide provides a tremendous amount of help in understanding the requirements and actions that would need to be taken care of involving FCA if something happens to you, if you pass away. And it gives you it's a tremendous document that leads you through the elements of the benefits that you have, and it tells you where to go, how to do it, what you should be doing. The Family Guide is a guide that gives you information for non-FCA related issues, things that you need to be prepared for or have prepared in advance of your passing. Now, we don't like to talk about that. I know people don't like to talk about that because you don't want to talk about passing, but it really is incumbent upon us to do this for our families. So when they're faced with a difficult situation and trying to find out, all the things that you have or don't have or whatever, how to do it, this document is extremely good at telling you where to go and how to manage that, how to have your beneficiaries manage their way through all of this stuff. Was developed by the insurance committee, and I'm going to do this because really, John, would you stand up, please? It was really developed by John. It was. John did this on his own, put it together, said it's something that you need to do. And we put it out several years ago, and now John's updated the whole thing to be as current as possible. And John, it was a great job. It was something that's very valuable for our members. So I appreciate it, and I'm sure everybody else does. So thanks an awful lot. I said it was also, if you don't have it in writing, in the hard copy, it's also available on our website. And please share it with your family members. Put it in an appropriate place where you have all your documentation So if something does happen, they have an opportunity and something that will give them an ability to work themselves through the issue. Yeah, John, go ahead.
Just one comment I want to make is, make sure with the document you go in there and mark off what you don't have. Some of you don't have life insurance, you don't have some, you don't want your beneficiary, your spouse, looking for stuff you don't even have anymore. So mark up the document for things you don't have.
The document is generic, and you need to customize it for your actual situation.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Toll violations. Has anybody gotten a note, an email, or something that says you owe money? Isn't that amazing? Have you? And there's two issues that we're running into. And I don't know if Pat Burke is here, but Pat Burke and I. Oh, okay, Pat. I don't have they contacted you? Because when I send the information, a lot of times when we send the information to Chrysler on with an individual's name, information, and whatever, oftentimes they will no longer contact us. They will only go back and contact the individual. And Pat's brought it up to mind. And there's two real issues. One is you can actually run into with your vehicle that you're driving, going someplace, let's say going to Florida, and you run into some things, and then you wake up all of a sudden, somebody sends you a note and says, we're going to take this money off of your pension check and whatever, and whatever. You really don't understand it. So we're going to send out a document that kind of is a primer on how to do this in terms of if you are traveling and it's your own vehicle, and if you want a sun pass or how to do these things. We're going to send out something. There is information on a company car website, but as we all know, sometimes it's hard to maneuver through that. So we're going to send out a document that will give you some information. Pat's issue, and it may be some of the others, which is really a little bit disturbing, and I haven't gotten to the bottom of it yet. But it's when you have turned in a lease car and picked up another car, you get a new license plate, and that old license plate goes away from you think. But I know in Pat's situation, she's had tolls charged against her, or instead of being charged against her, on a license plate that was turned in a long time ago, which is a little disturbing because that shouldn't happen. So we're working on it. I don't have information. If they haven't said anything to Pat, then I'll have to go back in, and because the company car guys told me they put it out and they're going to do work on it and see what the situation is. But we need to get that straightened out, because I don't know what the other implications are if that is still hooked to your name somehow with accidents or thefts or who knows what. So we're going to try to get to the bottom of that. So those are two issues in toll violations. It sounds strange. Why are we working on toll violations? But it does impact you guys, and we want to get it straightened out. So stay tuned. You'll hear a little more, from how to deal with it when you have the car, and then if I can find out any more information on what they're going to do to make sure that you are not hit with anything once you've gotten rid of that license plate and still put your name. Okay, with that, again, thank you guys. I mean, I can't tell you what your membership means to us, and we absolutely couldn't do this without you guys. So thank you very much.